gospel today can sometimes catch us off guard. Jesus seems kind of mean here, doesn't he? Honey, you are not one of my people, so I'm not going to help you. And he only helps her after she makes a very humble and wise argument. So let's take a moment to reflect on Jesus' possible headspace here. Now remember what Jesus needed to deal with many, if not most, days of his ministry. He is constantly being swarmed by people who want to beg him for a favor. Do this, heal my son, restore my sight, etc. It's nonstop, it seems. And furthermore, it's important to remember that Jesus got bummed out about one thing above all others. Jesus was constantly getting frustrated that people didn't get the point. Jesus' mission is all about people spiritually restoring themselves, reorienting themselves to God one way or another. And so often in the Gospels, people take what they can get from him, but then they don't grow spiritually. They accept the physical blessing, but neglect the spiritual component that comes along with said blessing. And Jesus was not a doctor. He was the Son of God on an entirely unique mission, and he healed and he did miracles as an indication to others that he was who he says he was. It's hard to ignore someone who commands the very power of nature, after all. But he was not doing so in order to show off or to be a wizard. He had a spiritual message, always. And sometimes people just didn't get it. If there is one reason why Jesus wasn't more joyful than he was, he otherwise could have been, it would have been that. People not getting the message in spite of every advantage Jesus gave them. So when this random Canaanite woman came up to him, Jesus stated to her, he wasn't in the business of miracle cures. He was leading the people of Israel to a renewed sense of fidelity with God. And what made this woman so unique is that she revealed that she was one of the people who was open to that spiritual message and spiritual mission. She truly was a person of faith, even though she wasn't Jewish. She had next to nothing in common with Jesus on the surface. But her heart was open to him and was open to God. And Christ saw that, and it didn't take long, and that he gave her exactly what she wanted. So personally, I think this speaks to something that a lot of people struggle with in their faith. And it boils down to that never-ending question of, why doesn't God seem to answer some people's prayers? Because everyone, and I mean everyone, prays to God at some point in their life in that childish way. Oh God, please spare me this bad thing. Oh God, please give me this good thing. I want it so bad. And most of the time, I'm pretty sure those prayers are quite sincere. I don't think people pray like that to scam God or anything. They might be in a lot of pain. Or they may have been very patient with life and in need of a break. Sincerity is not the problem. The problem is understanding the true nature of prayer. If your prayer can be summarized by the word gimme, the odds are against you. I once read, I think it was G.K. Chesterton, I couldn't find the exact quote, but I once read that God never answers prayers if they're demands. If we demand for God to do something for us, it is practically guaranteed that things will go the other way for us. And so I would like to end with a basic understanding, a reminder of a basic understanding that we should all have. It's all about relationship. You've heard me say that before. We should think of Christ as a brother and a friend, and of God as a father. You know, the Father as a father. To pray and to have a life of prayer is to be with God in here, to spend time with him, and that is a reward in of itself. And I really do mean that. Prayer is its own reward. Christ is a brother, God is a father. If you never talk to your father apart from asking for money, that's not a healthy relationship. After a while, giving you money will be the very last thing that your father wants to do for you out of love for you. A good father will figure out when a child has become overly dependent on handouts. In the same way, what good are you as a friend if you only call up the guys when you need help moving? Or what kind of friend are you if you're only willing to do what you want to do? When was the last time you went out of your way for the sake of a friend or a family member? Do you see what I'm saying here? Healthy relationships are more important than the perks of that relationship. It is nice to have a friend who lets you borrow his truck. We all need a friend like that from time to time. But it's immeasurably better to simply have a friend who truly cares for you. If that basic common sense truth is true for the people in our lives, how much more true must it be for our Father in heaven? So remember to be like the Canaanite woman. It's not about getting what you want. It's about having faith and having a relationship with God above all things. Rewards beyond that relationship are extra, and they're frankly beyond our control. So accept their presence with humility and gratitude, and accept their absence with patience and understanding.